Oh, it says the meeting is being live streamed.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
Hold on.
Well, if you're seeing us, this is our typical amazing introduction where we just chat about whether we're actually live streaming or not. Oh, it says the meeting is
We
being
are
live
up.
We're up.
Yeah, I heard my echo. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Joe,
Let's
you want to
do it.
go official? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
keep
do it
this
officially.
casual.
Yeah, let's hear the words. Okay. Hey there, Banditos. Welcome to the latest and 400th episode of the Dollar Bin Bandits. I am Joe Marcello.
I'm Warren Phillips.
I'm Mike Farah.
And yeah, we have the absolute pleasure of bringing to all of you our 400th episode. Who would have thunk that we be here for 400 episodes, let alone crap, 10
Well
episodes?
as our
Hey, look at this guy.
Yep.
as well as our 4th anniversary.
There's that too.
And we broke the 100,000 download mark a few weeks back.
Yeah. We got a lot. We got that going for us.
Yeah, there's a lot to celebrate.
Yeah. Hey, it's been a fun ride, guys. Have a good one. Good night.
Joe's announcing his retirement at
That's it. No.
at the beginning of this thing. Yeah, so 400 episodes, 4th anniversary. It's all coming up for. We're definitely going to get into, our hopes and dreams for the Fantastic Four movie and talk about the Superman movie, which I strained to bring into the four theme by saying it's the 4th post Christopher Reeve movie. If you count it as Superman Returns, Man of Steel, and is it start with Batman? Is it Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, or is it Superman v Batman? I think it's Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
But I'll count that as a Superman film. And this would be the 4th, which is just Superman, although formerly Superman Legacy. But before we get into other people's work, let's celebrate ourselves because that's what we're here for.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. Ooh. We're gonna do some top fours here.
All right.
And I thought it would be so we have both, as you know, podcast, audio, and YouTube video. So let's talk about the top 4 episodes of all time on our podcast platforms, starting with Mr. Roger Stern coming in at 4th place. This is all time, by the way.
Got it.
Then we have, and he is probably the most recent interview of the 4 that are in the top of all time. Number 3 is Chris Claremont. So 2 writers so far. Number 2, Walter Simonson. And the number 1 most downloaded episode of all time of the Dollar Bin Bandits is Jim Shooter.
Yeah. Now, was that prior to his death, or is that more recent kind of escalation?
I think that's been that way.
Was it?
No,
okay.
Yeah. He's been almost since the publishing of that episode. He's been like right on top.
Right.
But he's
Rightfully
definitely gotten that episode has definitely gotten some bumps, and we'll talk about Jim later. We have a sort of an in memoriam section, which we usually do, although not to bring everybody down, but we like to celebrate, the work of some of our past guests that have passed on. But to stick with audio for a while, now we have the top 4 from the last calendar year. So from at this point in 2024 to now in 2025. Number 4, Peter Bagg.
Oh.
Okay.
Indie writer artist, very unique style that you can recognize. I think that was you and me, Joe, on that one.
Yeah.
Interesting guy. Number 3, Dan Jurgens and Ron Mars, separate but smushed together interviews talking about
separate but equal.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Celebrating the 0 hour 30th anniversary.
Yes.
Yes.
That
Did
was
you
a
guys
year ago.
pick up that issue?
Within
No, this
the
is
past year.
within the past year.
Oh, within the past year. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I think that was earlier this year.
That
Yeah.
well,
Sure.
that makes more sense.
Yeah. It was 2025.
Okay.
All right. Number 2 of the past year's top podcast episodes, Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, that one took a lot of time to get that one.
Yeah. We were working back
Yeah,
channels.
That was a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good
really
one.
good one.
I mean, he knows how to do this podcast thing. He's a good talker.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that. You could tell the well-seasoned or media savvy guests by how they answer their questions, the words they use, very little ums and ahs. I keep saying that about Mark Wade because I never hear him say that. He's never at a loss for what he wants to say. It's always on the tip of his tongue. Bang, 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 bang. And then there's us.
So yeah.
I mean, I'm like many of our guests, my own harshest critic. Like I listen to you guys and I'm like, how do they keep it that casual and do that well? And I'm like listening to me and like all I hear are uhs and ums and trying to like reformulate questions. So
I think you did a fine job, Michael.
oh well, thank you, Warren.
Yeah, as do I. I can't listen to
Yeah.
myself. So
No, I can't listen to myself either.
All right. Well, how about we turn to the top 4s?
You didn't do number 1.
YouTube. Oh,
it's a mystery. It's a mystery. You got to pay for
Bury
that
the
one.
lead.
come on. You got to like dish this out. This is going to be at the end of the episode. No.
That
Number
will be
1.
that will be on
Bragging
our
rights.
OnlyFans. Come on, guys.
Right. Exactly.
That's how we're gonna do it.
Number 1 episode in the past year on podcast platforms, Mr. Roy Thomas, the original.
The one
original episode, Roy Thomas.
the one you guys did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I don't think I think yours is going to get up there. It just
Right.
hasn't had as much lead time because we did the first Roy Thomas episode probably in the fall of last year.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
it's just had more runway
Yeah.
to get up there.
I mean, that's a guy you can have on a million times and still not even scratch the surface of the stuff he's worked on and the things he's experienced and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a treasure, man.
He's got a billion stories. That's
Yeah.
why it's also hard because you'll bring up a topic
Right.
with Roy and he'll have a lot of material to talk about for each
Yeah.
topic. And then
Yeah.
to look at his entire career and you're like, well, this is only one small piece and I want to get to all these others, but it's hard because he has so much to say on everything. So yeah, we got 2 Roy Thomases. We'll see if we can go for a hat trick. Maybe later this year, maybe in 2026. Okay. Did I get everything now?
I believe you did.
I'm sorry, I was
We did.
giving everybody agita. They were like,
You'll be
"What is
happy to
number 1?"
know. Sorry, Mike. You'll be happy
Yes,
to
go
know.
ahead.
Eddie from the Batcave said, "Good evening, congrats," and Mike, love your background.
Oh,
Thank
see?
you.
I knew a
Eddie
word.
has been one of the most, I would say, constructive critics of my horrible generic backgrounds that I usually use. And so I'm going to try to mix it up and use some virtual backgrounds because I still haven't, finished my basement in the fine geekery that my other bandits have. So hopefully more of these on the way.
Thinking of changing mine up a bit. I want to do something.
And
I
folks-
thought you did. It looks actually a little more.
Well, I
like
rearranged
organized.
some stuff. I have less comic booky, more movie stuff. So yeah.
Just to plug, if you don't follow Eddie on YouTube, Eddie from the Batcave, he does comic book reviews every Wednesday, does a phenomenal job. Wonderful guy. And so go check him out. And his background is pretty ridiculous also because he literally has
The Batcave.
the Batcave. It's all sorts of cool stuff behind him. I keep looking when he's talking. I'm like, oh, what's that? What's that? So
Yeah, he's got a lot of his whole collection of things. Just
yeah.
I can't believe we haven't had Eddie on yet. We got to make that happen.
Yeah, Eddie,
I was listening.
are you listening? I know you are. Let's make this happen.
Let's do it.
And go to Terrificon, Eddie.
Yeah,
I can
Jesus.
stop bothering you about it.
Eddie, we really only did this live episode for you.
We got him.
This is tailor-made just to get you on the podcast. All right. So how about we move to some top fours in YouTube, which is there is at least one overlap, but more of a different story there. So you can actually see our top four, top five, or even top 10, I think, on our page. But I'll go through them now anyway. This is the top four of all time. Number 4, and I have to, go against my instinct to say the top 5. We're doing top 4 today. Number 4 is Alex Grand, the man behind Comic Book Historians.
The man who also just got Rob Liefeld again.
He got Rob Liefeld again.
Biscuit.
He is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't say, well, I got you before. Why don't you go talk to my buddies on the Dollar Bin Bandits? I mean, spread the wealth there. All right. Number 3. And you will not be surprised that in all of these lists on YouTube, the Sven squad is very well represented. So number 3 is Sarah Palmer, Gwenguli Returns.
Oh, yes.
And this is one where Oren and his daughter took the reins and was able to talk to Sarah again. She had been on, I think, previously with a group of folks, right? With Bill Leff.
She was on with Bill, I think, before.
Yeah. So very popular one. Number 2 of all time on YouTube is Jim Shooter.
He's number 2?
He's
number
2. Some overlap there. He was number 1 all time on our audio only podcast list. And number 1 most popular video on YouTube is Bill Leff, Nostalgia Veratu, and Sarah Palmer, Gwenguli. So there it is. Her first appearance only eclipsed her second appearance by a couple spots.
The Svengoolie fans, the Legion is big, very loyal. And Sarah's absolutely awesome. She and Bill, Scott, not Chris, Scott, and Rich and Jim Roach are at Comic-Con right now. They're having a panel, which is being moderated by our friend Dan DiDio.
There you go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's enjoying San Diego Comic-Con right about now. We have ambitions of someday going
Eventually
as a group, but
we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We also have a Corinne Phillips saying, "Hey, y'all."
That'd be my daughter using my my wife's name. Hey,
sure?
y'all to you too, kiddo. Hey, y'all to you.
I mean, she made an appearance in the top 4 for
Yeah,
YouTube.
look at that.
I was going to say, of all time, my daughter made right in there. So
Yeah.
good job, kiddo.
Congrats,
stuff.
Lena.
Do you have the top 4 for this year?
Yes. So the past year, the top 4 are at number 4, Scott Greider, who was, do we remember? Imp on the Sven squad.
Not Chris.
Not Chris. Yeah, that was a
That's me.
snafu.
Yeah.
Oren's brain had a little imp.
He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah. Number 3, sticking with the same theme, it's Rich Kaz, Svengoolie himself, and Bill Leff.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What were the final numbers on that? Just out of curiosity.
Oh boy, that I don't have in front of me. I should, but I don't.
We were told there would be no research that we'd have to do for this episode.
Yeah. We were told no math.
No fact checking was needed.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of, non-alcoholic seltzers, so I'm all sorts of.
Oh my God, this guy
Crazy.
with his clearly Canadian.
They're delicious. These things. My gosh.
Yeah, our neighbors to the north know how to party.
Oh, boy. Let's see if we could get them to sponsor us.
That'd be
Doing
nice.
some,
We're gonna
commercial.
talk about some comics, eh?
Eh? All right, number 2 on YouTube for the past year, Peter Bagg.
Oh,
People love Peter Bagg.
yeah.
They just like saying it's
I
in the
mean-
bag.
It's in the bag. I mean, interesting guy. Maybe he probably doesn't do a lot of interviews, People remember him from his comic Hate and some others. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun. Okay, number one YouTube video in the past year is an overlap with the top videos of all time, and it is Sarah Palmer, When Ghoulie Returns. Oren and Lena
Look at
in the
me.
pole position.
I
Thank
don't
you.
remember. Was she in like makeup on any of those?
No.
No, she was
Oh,
all.
in makeup is Gwen Ghoulie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
Now, the cool thing was when I interviewed Rich, he was on the set of the show. So you could see in the
Right.
background and stuff like that. Sarah is at home and stuff like that, but she has her own YouTube channel, Pinup Palmer. Where she
That's
does
right.
all
Yeah,
sorts of-
she's got her own
yeah, horror and stuff
thing
like
going.
that.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. Do we have so we've gotten the entire Sven squad, haven't we, by this point?
We've gotten everybody, and when they come back from San Diego, maybe we'll see if we can round them up again to talk about their experience at San Diego Comic-Con, because a lot of them, it's their first time going, and hopefully Bill doesn't wander off from the crowd and get lost, because that keeps me up at night thinking about that.
You don't sleep much, do you?
No, I don't
Yeah.
sleep much.
I
I worry about that man so much.
Glued to your phone for an Amber Alert on Bill Leff?
I think it's called a silver alert or something like that.
Centrum Silver Alert.
Yeah, like what the what?
Another sponsorship possibility. Centrum Silver.
This
We have a lot of older
Fine.
men and women.
Come on, really? Do we?
But I gotta say,
Can we get
Try
the
to keep it-
mutual
Try to keep it Gen
crowd,
Z.
too?
Keep it youthful, everybody.
Yeah, geez, come on. Can we get the
We're
Zima
being
crowd?
very mid right now. I hear that's a term.
let me ask you guys a question. Before jumping ahead, but what was your favorite interview that you guys did or you guys listened to that we did so far this year from then till now?
Good question. I will tell you one that I immediately felt really good about that I did, which was Phil Jimenez.
Okay.
I just thought that the conversation just flowed really well. He was just awesomely friendly and open, and just as soon as I was done recording that one, I was like, this was a good one. And I don't know if I wouldn't say I don't often feel that way, but I rarely feel like it's there was something I could have done differently or we could have had a better conversation. So that one sticks out in my mind. There were a couple that you did, Oren, but I'd have to go back and find them that really surprised me that not that they, your stuff is usually good, but they were like particularly really good. I just can't like produce them. I probably have sent you text messages and you can probably scroll through our group text and be like, oh, Mike was really excited about this one. I'll have to remember them, but go ahead. You guys go.
I would say my favorite non-one of mine was Marty Milner, because Jaws is such an impact on my life, and hearing him talk about like how it all kind of got put together. This is a guy who was right there in the thick of it. I thought Joe just did an absolutely phenomenal job.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really excited for that. I was bummed that you couldn't join.
Yeah.
Because knowing, our love for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting a different interview, like, for it to take a different path. I didn't think it would go the way it did, meaning it took, I expected more of like the Hollywoodish type of interview. Well, how was Roy Scheider? How was this? How was that? One, definitely couldn't get any of those questions in because, he had so much to tell.
Yeah.
But he discussed everything from quite literally the labor point of view. What went into making these? It was all us who built this and that, and most of what you saw was a set. With the exception of like the street scenes, which I never even thought of. You'd think like, well, it's a New England town. They must have this stuff there, And so that was a really good one. For mine, I'm going to be quite honest with you. It's hard to tell because I work on every one of these and I listen to them and they all blur together after a while. Um, you guys both, I mean, really hit it out of the park with every one of your interviews. I mean, quite literally. I mean, you guys do great interviews. I'm sorry, I've not been able to do as many as I once did. But you know, make some room. Um, but yeah, the gym shooter one was great. Really enjoyed that. And there was one of Mike's more recent ones, and the name, Christ, I want to say Jimenez, but oh, I take that back. Not Jimenez, Nicola Scott.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Loved that
that was
one.
both of
That
ours.
was really
Yeah, I love that one.
That was a fun one. Yeah.
That was really fun. Because I loved her work for the longest time. And two, when we finally started talking to her, I didn't know she was from Australia. I was like, "Oh, you're not from around here."
Yeah. We were talking, yeah, that's the other side of the world. So we were talking, when were we talking to her? Was it a
Yeah.
usual night one? Because for her, I think it was like the next day in the morning or something like that.
Something like that. I think it may have been later in our evening, so that it was, you know, a
Right.
little bit later in her morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was a fun one.
Yeah. Agreed. So I just went down the list so I could refresh my memory. And one did jump out for Oren particularly was Tom Mason from Malibu Comics, which I think I went in, I was like, who's this guy? I don't quite understand. And he just has a fascinating career. And you really sort of like pulled all the right strings and found, you know, everything about you know, the founding of Malibu and how things, you know, this is kind of during our period of collecting, or when we first started collecting, right? That Malibu sort of came up and became a big powerhouse, and then was like the launching pad for Image when those guys broke away from Marvel. And it's so fascinating to hear sort of the behind the scenes from Tom. So I thought that was a particularly good one.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say my favorite was Philip Savlik and Jeremy Hahn talking about Ignition Press, just to hear, you know, the information about how do you put a company together? Like, what do you want to do that makes you different? Because, you know, between Marvel, DC, and Image, and especially nowadays with the crowdfunding, where there's comic books galore, you have so many people vying for your attention. How are you going to make a company that puts you, you know, in people's faces and makes them want to keep buying your books? So those are two very bright guys. I mean, my goodness, they got, if you're going to run a company, those are two guys you want running the company.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had the great opportunity to talk to a lot of these folks who are kind of starting their own shingles, as it were. A couple others that come to mind are like Tom Pyre at Ahoy. Now, Ahoy's been around now, I think, 10 years. I want to say they're just celebrating the 10th anniversary. Hopefully that's right. And then from, I think, last year, Scott Dunbier, who is, you know, very associated with Wildstorm and DC, starting Fourth Act Comics. And I don't know if there's a lot of stuff coming that has come out yet, but I know there's a lot on the way for that.
And also Gary Carlson, Big Bang Comics.
Yes. And Big Bang, yep, Gary Carlson, Big Bang Comics.
Yep.
And we haven't had the chance to talk to him, but we do know, I think at SDCC last year, Joe Quesada launched his imprint Amazing Comics. And again, I think there's a lot to come on that, not so much that has come out yet. But yeah, it seems like there's just proliferating these, you know, publishers and imprints and things like that.
And Mike Pellerito, Archie.
That's right. Archie's still going strong under his leadership.
A wonderful guy.
Yeah, very cool. Folks, and
we have a guest coming in. Hold on a second. You're talking about the most downloaded YouTube, and there she is.
What? What?
The number one.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Well,
Oren, did you make her like any kind of like award? That's all you know. That's all you need. Yeah. Don't wash that hand, Lena.
Lena, all those comics will soon be yours.
Yeah. And then they'll go right out the door.
All right. So let's go into some of our recently departed greats in the comic book world. Again, we don't want to dwell on the bad stuff, just to celebrate them. We did at our 2024 wrap up talk about quite a few people, but there were three, and I'm sorry it's not four. We could probably stretch it to four, but there are three particularly that we hadn't had a chance to talk about
You want to off someone
in the
else?
past. Yeah, I know. It was, hold my beer while I go kill someone. Um, let's see. So Jim Shooter, big one. Oren, I know you said that was, one of the best interviews and opportunities that you had doing this show. Anything else you want to say about that experience or him in particular?
We emailed each other a few times. We had talked about him coming on with Paul Levitz together, but we just couldn't get his schedule right. That was an interview that I went to very nervous because, and well, be honest here, there's a lot of stories. Some people didn't care for him. There's a lot of people who love working for him. It's sort of an in between, and as fans, you'd hear both sides. So I didn't know what to get, and he couldn't have been nicer. Um, Always very polite in emails. He was very frank about what he did, and it's just somebody I had admired prior to doing all this. So it was a wonderful experience, and certainly, he leaves a wonderful legacy in comic books. As a writer for Legion or his stuff he did for Marvel, Valiant, all these wonderful things he's brought to us as fans. So he's certainly a giant that will be missed.
Absolutely. I think he helped. Again, they're very polarizing depending on who you're talking about, but he really professionalized, I think, the industry in terms
Yeah.
of, getting creators their due and their right payment, and, keeping the trains running on time and making it, that this is not just kids stuff. This is, an industry, and that we want to support the people that do, all the good work.
Yep.
Another of the biggies that we haven't talked about that much, is Peter David. He was very ill, the past few years, and unfortunately passed just recently. He was a big one for me. He was always kind of the top of the heap for trying to get an interview with. I've probably gone on ad nauseum about his run on the Hulk, which was, foundational for me. But he did so much other stuff. You can sort of look it up. I remember a big run on Supergirl, and he did a big run on Captain Marvel when it was sort of the melding of Genesville and Rick Jones. And I think Chris Cross did the art on that. But just very it was just a great storyteller and very sort of humanized, I think, the sort of comic book experience, or when you're talking about these big superheroes. He was very kind of like down to earth and told the stories of, like relationships very well. So that was Peter David. The third one I wanted to talk about, and then we'll kind of maybe tick down some others just quickly, is Butch Guice, Jackson given name. Big, artist, worked on so many titles, mostly I think at Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And
he did a lot of Superman too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did a lot of Superman too. Yeah, fantastic artist. Just kind of like solid draftsman. Was able to go from character to character, book to book, and just knock it out of the park. So I think we were trying to. I mean, we were always trying to get him on the show, but Oren, I think we had maybe some contact with him.
We emailed a few times, and his family wanted him to celebrate his career and talk more about all these on the industry. But he's a very private person, and I respected that. And sometimes we would just send an email back and forth. Hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. But I think you said a wonderful artist. I mean, if you're not familiar with his work, please look it up. And another artist that I love for my son decided to show up.
Hi.
Thank you. Go upstairs. Another artist that I just love to bring up is MD Bright, Mark Bright. Wonderful work on Iron Man. One of those very under the radar artists, but solid as all get out. And I was shocked to hear that of his passing. He'd been someone who, we don't want to make this all about people we try to reach out to, but someone, I'd asked others to find, and they'd all said, "Oh yeah, Mark's a great guy. Like, we just don't know where he is now." But certainly a huge talent.
Yeah, a couple of others. I had MD Bright on the list, and in fact, if you listen back to the Christopher Priest episode, they were collaborators, multiple collaborators on different books, and it sounds like Priest and MD Bright had just a great, almost sibling relationship. They butted heads a lot, but they ultimately were, produced some fantastic work. Quantum and Woody is particularly, I think their synergy at the best. There was John Cassaday, who we talked about, I think, at our end of year last year. Penciler, all over the place. Star Wars, I think, in more recent years he was on. Paul Neary was an inker. I'm trying to, produce his bibliography in my mind. I think he worked on a lot of Image and Marvel things, especially work with, I want to say Mark Miller, but please out there correct me if I'm wrong. But he was a great talent. Ramona Fradon, is it Fradon or Fradon?
Brandon.
Yeah, Fradon. Yeah, I think she was quite, a bit frail for a while. I think we tried to get her on the show, but it was not to be, unfortunately. MD Bright, one person who was on the show, Trina Robbins.
Yeah.
Oren, you got to talk to her, right? Or was it more than you?
No, I got just me speaking to her, and she was a pleasure to talk to, and certainly left her mark on the industry for her love of comics, the history of comics and the history of women in comics, but also her own writing and creations in the industry as well.
Yeah. Also, Don Perlin, Michael Zulli, and Bernie Moreau is how I want to pronounce it. I may be butchering that, but all great contributions to comics. So hail and farewell to these luminaries in the comic book world. For now, though, let's move into movies. I think we've all seen Superman. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I already said how we're sort of fitting that square peg into a round hole with the number 4 theme. So, what'd you think?
Well,
Jojo.
Go off, Joe.
I am going to say that I love the movie. I can't wait to see it again, and another time after that. It was refreshing to see a Superman that was happy to be Superman, because quite a few of the past iterations seem so reluctant and miserable to be Superman. So it was great. There were, it's a new take on the same character. I appreciate the fact that we didn't see an origin. We know what the hell happened at this point. And yeah, I just, thought it was great. I was just it was so much fun. That's what it should be. Superman that smiles and he's having fun, and you're along for the ride.
I'm just so pleased to see Metamorpho on screen. And a character that, it's been around for a while and it was played wonderfully. I'm with Joe. I want to see it again. I want to see it again for a different reason, because somehow I managed to see the closed caption version of it in theaters. So yeah, I did notice it. Matthew was like, you bought like some other ticket. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I'm trying to watch the movie, but all of a sudden these things keep popping up at the bottom. and my eyes kept going up and down because I just can't ignore these things. But yeah, what a fun
Those
movie.
things are words. Those are
Yes,
the words.
These
and
things.
that's what confused me because I, you know,
Warren doesn't do so well with words.
oh
These
gosh,
thing. This is a thing. That's a thing.
Former journalist over here.
But I'm with Joe. It was good to walk out of a movie, a superhero movie, feeling positive and feeling like, yes, like I can't wait to see where this is going to go, instead of being like, oh gosh, like
Yeah.
everything's so dark and grim.
Yeah.
Rolled a tear or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
For
gonna
sure.
lie. I'm not gonna. Yeah. I mean, I was like, nah, it's not. No.
then you just put your head down. You're like,
Yeah, I was like,
"Whoa."
I don't know. I think I got something
Something in there.
Keep
We
it
talked to
together.
Wade about this too. Yeah. And we I think the 2 points, and I guess spoilers. Hopefully you guys have all out there seen this movie. But
He flies.
the
It's a guy who
2 point,
flies.
yeah, yes. Superman flies.
Yeah.
Which is always good to see. But the 2 points where I think everybody teared up was one, the kid in the worn-torn country who's hoisting the Superman flag and trying to keep it up during this devastation, and at least for me, it was his adoptive dad, Pa, sitting him down near the end of the movie
Yeah.
and just sort of giving him a lay of the land and advice, like it's you're a good person, you'll make the right decisions.
And for me, those two, sorry to cut you off, those
Yeah.
two for sure, but also at the very end where he's basically watching his home movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where they like parallel the early, like he feels
Right.
calm listening to his parents or something,
Yeah.
and instead of Jor-El and Laura or whatever her name is, it's Ma and Pa and the
Yeah.
early memories. I agree. I thought it was great too. It was a lot of movie. That's what I keep saying. Like there was weirdly a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff, a lot of characters, a lot of business, as one of my favorite movie podcasts likes to say. But because it was like James Gunn and this energy that couldn't be denied, and everybody keeps saying like kindness is punk rock. It did have just punch of energy. So like, and it just kept moving, and didn't like dwell to say, okay, now we got to do a flashback. Well, who is Metamorpho?
Yeah.
Or who is Guy Gardner? It's just like this world is already established. We're just dropping you the hell into it,
Right.
and you better catch up, or it's going to leave you behind.
He built a world in one movie and
Yep.
didn't have to build up to it. He just said, "This is it. Take it or leave it, and go."
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I think at some point we're going to see like a Justice League Jesus
The
Christ.
Justice Gang.
No, the one that Maxwell Lord
Justice League International. Or, something
because you see that Maxwell Lord is mentioned. They got Metamorpho, they got Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner is a huge part of that. At some point, maybe Batman, but like you could tell, like they're gonna, because there was a visual of Maxwell Lord at the, I guess it was the end.
Yeah, played by Sean Gunn, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they're going to put a face to it, so they're not going to waste that.
Yeah.
Right.
And look, Guy Gardner was awesome.
Everyone was awesome. Everyone played their role.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Had
The
a
only
lot of-
person I thought, or the only couple of people I thought did not maybe get enough to do, but it was hard because there was just so much going on, was Hawkgirl.
Mm-hmm.
She had stuff to do, but as opposed to the rest of the characters, she just wasn't as developed, I think, as a character.
Yeah.
And then just because I love the actor, I would have liked to see more Perry White.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree 100%.
But it was great that they got like the whole Daily Planet gang like in on the action. They weren't just like behind the scenes doing, Jimmy Olsen is having this affair and like, part of the plot. And then they all get into what is Mr. Terrific's vehicle called? whatever it is. They get into that
Terrific.
vehicle and they're all flying around together, and like
Terrific.
Barry White's
mobile,
like just not phased by this in the least.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
yeah.
What do you guys, so besides, more of this, what are you guys looking forward to either from another Superman film, but also like the rest of the, James Gunn's slate of movies? Or what would you caution against even?
I think it's going to be cool because I think James Gunn's not afraid to do some deep cuts as far as characters go. It doesn't always have to be Batman or Wonder Woman or something like that. Like he did with Mr. Terrific, people who didn't know him, he put a spotlight on him, and now folks absolutely love him. And I think that's a great thing to, when you bring up some of these other characters and introduce them to a new generation, hopefully, knock wood, maybe someone will go back and look at the old comic issues to find out more about him, and maybe that'll get them into reading.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, next year we have Green Lanterns, so we have them to look forward. That whole series we get to look forward to, which I am really looking forward to. And from my understanding, Guy Gardner will make an appearance on that, in some way. And then apparently there's a Clayface movie.
It's a horror. Yeah,
it's okay. So I mean, that was cool. I liked the version done on the animated series. So if it's anything like that, they made that character compelling and interesting, and you felt for him. So I mean, he's like you said, there's some deep cuts, but they're leaning into the comic bookness of it all, whereas in the past they seemed somewhat apprehensive about doing it too much. Superman can't smile. He's not going to have underwear on the outside of his uniform. He's going to be brooding and like Batman-ish, but now they're leaning into it. So, I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of stuff that we only dreamt of seeing years ago. Like we saw Metamorpho, Mr. Terrific. So, I think that's all stuff we have to look forward to seeing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to whatever's coming out. I think the Green Lanterns show looks super interesting. I love the Kyle Chandler casting.
Yeah.
I think he would be he will be a great Hal Jordan. And I love the little Supergirl like sneak peek at the end.
Yeah.
Who, she seems like a totally different take on Supergirl. Like I've read the book that what it's based on, Supergirl, I think it's Woman of Tomorrow, which is a great series if you guys haven't checked it out. Very self-contained, but yeah, she is kind of like, she's not a confident superhero, and she likes to have fun, and it's just she has a very kind of messy life, and it looks like it'll be fun. I'm hoping that's what
Lobo's
these things will continue to be. Yeah,
Lobo, not just any Lobo, Aquaman Lobo.
Yeah,
I know the character he was born to play, and
exactly.
He just took a side trip to Aquaman.
Took a swim.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, looking forward to everything that's coming next based on this Superman. The other big movie coming out, of which, this graphic is based on and really fits the theme of
Ghostbusters
tonight's
4.
proceeding, is Ghostbusters 4. Yeah. It's Fantastic Four First Steps. I believe it's coming out this weekend, right?
They only take 4 steps, though. That's
What's
it.
that?
They only take 4 steps.
Yeah. Yeah. It's only 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. What are you guys looking forward to in this movie? I'm sure you've seen all the trailers and such.
All of it. Yeah, I just want to. I can't wait to see all of it. I mean, like there's a scene where Ben Grimm has a beard. So
yeah.
What happened? How did he grow that? How does he shave? Does he use a hammer and a chisel? I mean,
these questions have to be answered.
These all have to be answered. I would love to see if any of the old Fantastic Four stars make an appearance in some form.
I think I
One of
read
those
that they
lists.
do actually.
Do they?
I
Because
think that
they
original
were at the
1994
premiere.
one, yeah. I think they have like cameos. I don't remember
Okay.
what scene or whatever, but I think I remember reading about that.
Then I'm all in.
Yeah. I mean, I am just so pumped for like a full size, non-cloud, real person Galactus.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want an
That I
$80 popcorn bucket.
Yes.
I mean, if I were to buy any popcorn bucket, it would probably be a Galactus. If I spend $70 on a bucket, it would
$80.
be $80. Excuse me.
$80.
Yep.
Yeah, it has to be divisible by 4, right? It would be Galactus. I mean, I'm just so excited to see Galactus.
Yeah.
I'm probably
And
too excited,
he-
and he's probably not going to be in the movie very much, and then I'll be disappointed. But
well, hey, look, this is going to lead into the what is it, Doomsday,
I believe so.
Avengers Doomsday, or
Mhm.
you know, there's going to be something that leads into that, and we're going to see how their ship, you know, ends up in the
Thunderbolt.
MCU proper, and yeah, at the end of Thunderbolt. So,
oh
that'd
yeah,
be
I haven't
cool.
seen Thunderbolts. Thanks for the
Oh,
spoilers.
sorry.
Yeah,
There's a
No, that's okay.
yeah, no.
What's
But
the
it looks like
asterisk stand for?
the new Avengers. Sorry,
That one I got.
You got that one? All right. Yeah, but it looks like Galactus is like part Transformer or something. It comes out of a ship.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He always had like I think he always had a ship, and if I remember some of the old Kirby stuff, he had like almost like
a buggy.
almost like a motorcycle or like a
Oh, like
moped.
Orion? Like Orion?
Kinda.
He would fly on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That was for a limited
exactly. It was just
time
like
he
a
did that.
platform with
He had a
two
rideshare
handlebars.
scooter all those years.
And I remember, I don't know if this was just a miscoloration at one point, but people keep posting it. Is that did Galactus have shorts at some point?
I think, and almost like a green something. And
Yeah, I feel like it was
yeah.
maybe a miscoloration, like they didn't color in his pants the right way, but it looked like he had shorts, which
Got a
is
three-quarter
hysterical to think
Yeah.
about.
I
I
just
don't know.
hopefully I'm optimistic, even though in the comics, in the old comics, I didn't like Herbie. When I think Johnny Storm left and they brought in this little robot, and
Yeah.
I was, just
He looks
Bring
like he's more of like
comic relief.
he's a Rosie,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
for the Jetsons.
Yeah,
Herbie is sort of not the main attraction for me. Hopefully it'll be like Crypto, like be like a super pleasant surprise.
Yep.
But if not, I'm okay with it. And I really like the actress for Silver Surfer. I mean, jury's still out, but I like her as an actress, so hopefully her like acting can come through the
Mhm.
CGI. You know, I feel like that's always very hard. And I like the actor for Thing too, and so hopefully again his acting comes through
Yeah.
the CGI. So that should be awesome. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do another like episode after that comes out and we've all seen it.
Next Monday. Let's do it.
yay!
All right.
Spoilers.
So let's finish up with a couple more top fours. And these are going sort of, well, one I sort of brought out, and you guys can tell me if I'm right. And it's show related. And then the last one is just we'll go around and try to figure it out. So this was top 4 questions that we ask in our interviews. And I had one that was mostly for each of us. Joe, you were a little, I think to a positive point, you don't repeat questions as much as myself and Oren do. But these are the 4 questions I think I hear a lot of, and I'll go from 4 to 1, and you guys can tell me if I'm way off base or what you like or don't like about these questions. All right, so number 4 is, tell me about your experience on blank licensed book, because we always hear that the licensed books have a lot of, oversight and too many cooks in the kitchen. What was your experience like?
Fair enough.
I agree. That's a good one, though.
It
It
is.
is a good one
I love
because
licensed books.
it's different. I remember
Yeah.
you asked that recently, Oren, and someone was like, I didn't get any interference at all.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get any notes. And then you talk to somebody else and they're like, yeah, they were overbearing. I was like, I couldn't
Right.
even make any character decision without
Right.
whomever the licensee or licensor was for that one. All right. Number 3. This one I think I tend to do a lot of, which is like, what is if you look back on your career, what is a work you've done that has been maybe a little overlooked or you would like to bring some more highlight to? Which I like to ask, and I
Yeah.
feel like some people roll with it, and some people are like, well, I hope that basically like I think that all my work should be read and
Yeah, no,
none
I
of it
think
was overlooked.
I think that's a good question. I really like that question. I think if someone is genuine enough, they're realistic in that, look, I have done X amount of things over my career. Not all of them are going to hit with everyone. There's got to be something that didn't make it. And this is why.
It's and also a lot of these folks, like, how many times has Jerry Conway been asked about Punisher? I'm sure he'd like to talk about something different
Right.
than Punisher. I think that's something that we try to bring to our show is let's talk about other things besides what you've been asked a thousand times, because there might be some really wonderful stories coming out of that.
Yeah, agreed. All right, number 2 is mostly an Orange special.
Oh,
How do you build a character? Does it start with an
blueprint.
ability?
What is the
Do you
blueprint
start?
for
What is the
building a
blueprint?
character?
Yes.
Thank you.
And can you go down the list of when you prompt them? Like, what
I
is
say,
it?
well, what
Is it an ability? Is it I
a
don't remember the other
name?
ones.
Is it
A name? Yes.
personality thing? How do you start to put together these characters?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot. All right. And the number 1, it had to be this one. How did you first discover comic books?
Bread and butter right there.
That's why we're here,
It
guys.
is
That's
why
why we're
people
here.
come back. If nothing else, they hear that first question and they're just like, I'm just zoning out. This is my, happy place. How did whoever first discover comics?
Yeah.
And then when you interview them again, you could skip it and go right
Yes.
into
Yeah.
something different because
Right.
we're how to
Exactly.
Although
Just
I
like
kind
Superman,
of
you jump
wonder
right in.
with some of our returning guests, if we just did that for the second interview, how many of them would just roll with it and be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't
Click.
answer this before,"
Well, who is
or
it
how
that-
many would be like, "You guys are asking me the same questions. I'm out."
Yeah. Well, there's, someone that we interviewed first time we met him and we asked that question and his response was, "Didn't I answer this the last time?"
Oh, right.
I was like, no,
No,
you didn't, because this is the first time we met you.
right. You must be thinking of another podcast.
Yeah.
And then there was someone who
That was that lame
Other
old
podcasts
podcast.
exist.
when we asked that question and it went into stories about who knows what that then turned
It
into
was like a 45-minute answer.
historical events that went
Yep.
back into this and
Yes.
you just sort of
Never meet your heroes, guys.
that was a Joe editing job that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
A certain president of the United States calls that the weave.
Yeah.
Just weave. Okay, so to wrap this up, well, actually, to get back to movies, and you guys can take a little time on this. We'll try to all think about it without giving dead air. But what are your top 4 comic book movies of all time? They don't have to be superhero movies. Comic book movies. They can be superhero movies, but
Well, aren't they one and the same?
not always. I mean, you can have like The Mask is a comic book movie.
or the
Judge Dredd is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
what was that Harvey Picar movie? Technically, that's about American Splendor.
Right. American Splendor, Ghost World,
Oh, yeah.
You can go off the beaten path a little bit.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, God.
Technically, maybe.
It's like, how do you
Anyway.
All right, I think I'm ready.
Wow.
go ahead?
Orrin had this at the ready. Good job. All right.
I looked at the notes
Are you gonna go 1 to
beforehand.
4 or 4 to 1?
We'll go forward to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had this on the outline. Yeah. So
Come on.
come on.
Um,
Orrin's prepared.
Number 4, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember really enjoying it. And a lot of people didn't. No. Shit. Because now I got to pump something off.
Hmm.
All right. I'll put one as. All right. I'm going to put as an aside the new Superman film is absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
If I was to do this list in time, I'd do it again.
Mhm.
My top four. Number four, The Phantom. I
Billy
really
Zane?
enjoyed, yeah, with Billy Zane. I really enjoyed that movie. Um, Number three would be, uh, was it Dark Knight Returns, the Heath Ledger one?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
Uh,
think that's just the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Batman 1989 would be number two. And probably because I've watched it so much, The Crow would be number one.
Hmm,
I already know where I'm
good
gonna
one.
go.
That's why I went first.
Son of a bitch. All right.
Hmm.
I guess I'll go next.
Yeah. Even though I wrote the outline, I still did not do this. So I'm I'm still coming up with it.
So it's hard for me to put a lot of these in order because you go through phases throughout the year where you start watching something more than the other and it automatically gets bumped up in your mind. So I'll say number 4 for me would be The Crow. Um, oh man, number 2, I'm sorry, for 3 would be Batman 89. 2, crap, I don't know because Logan was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Logan is up there, but my number 1 is the original Superman. Like
Superman 1 or Superman 2?
son
Or
of a
Superman
bitch.
1 and 2. I will
They-
allow maybe that because they were really two parts.
Yeah, they were one and the same. I the original Superman for me is always just amazing. Say what you want, corny. I don't really give a shit what people think. It's got one of the longest opening credit scenes I've seen in my life. That could be trimmed down a bit. But yeah, number 2 is up there. Um, it's really sucks that we have to limit this to just comic book superhero type stuff because I mean we talked about Jaws and that's like top of my mind during the summer. It's every summer I'm watching Jaws.
Jaws
One,
is
two,
a
three, four.
fantastic. I mean, it's a masterpiece.
It is.
Um,
And they're doing, and I had to mention this because we were discussing popcorn buckets, but they're doing at AMC their popcorn bucket for the screening of Jaws is the buoy, the big yellow
Oh, is it
buoy.
really?
Yeah. But yeah, that's probably it's so hard. It's like choosing your children, like which do you love more? But like I there's so many that come out. I mean, holy crap! How do you not include like Avengers Endgame? Because I mean, not the fact
yeah,
that it's just recent, but like 10 years of movies that built up to it, cried my eyes out in like 2 or 3 scenes, not once, but twice when I watched it. And it's one of the ones that I go to frequently when I just want to put something on. So,
I'd also add
yeah.
to my honorable mention the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. I love that movie.
that's a great recent one. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's hard not to make these like I'm looking at what I've written down to make them all like Spider-Man or Batman. Um, okay, so all right. So here's my 4, and we could do a ton of honorable mentions. I'm gonna go with number 4. I'm gonna go with Spider-Man 2 at number
Well,
4. The original Tobey Maguire thing. I think, 1 was good,
Mhm.
3 was not so good.
Not so much.
But 2 was, I just think, like the perfect,
right.
popcorn superhero up to that point, perfect popcorn superhero movie.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm gonna say Batman 89, just because of what an effect that had on us as kids, I think, and me particularly. Like that probably got me into comics.
Mhm.
Number 2, The Dark Knight,
Mhm.
for obvious reasons. And number 1, kind of a recent one, Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a great one. That's
Yeah.
a really great
that was
one.
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, blew my freaking socks off.
Yeah.
And not many, I can't say that about many movies like in the past
Yeah.
10, 20 years.
Yeah.
When is part 2 of that supposed to come out? Because I thought it would have been.
Well, part 2 has come out. Part
Yeah,
3 has
part
been
3.
heavily delayed.
Oh, that's in part 3. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember they were like that big cliffhanger at part 2, and they're like,
Yeah.
number 3 is gonna definitely come out like in a year or something. And it's been
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say honorable mention Ghost World, which I still think is really good based on, I think the guy's name is Daniel Clowes, right? Independent author. Logan, which you mentioned, Joe. The first Iron Man, just for what it did
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
establish the Marvel universe. And I do agree also, Joe, with Endgame. Like how they brought everything to that climax and stuck the landing
hmm
was amazing. And it kind of screwed them because it was so good that everything
was-
else after Endgame was just
it was-
like, what are you
yeah.
guys doing? This
Too
is
good.
nowhere near that level.
Yeah. I mean, they tied up so many loose ends and references. And I mean, I'm hoping that, whatever the Russos produce going forward is going to be as good. I mean, it's not because they didn't have all these years to build up to it, but they can at least play off of that somehow.
Yeah.
I'd also like to mention Hellboy, the original Hellboy.
Yes.
Also
Very
a
good.
good one.
BTW, I saw that newer version.
Yeah.
Which one? Because didn't they do 2? There was like the David Harbour version, and then there
Yep.
was yet another one after
Saw that one, wasn't so bad. It was
Okay.
it was more in line with the comics.
Yeah.
I saw that lower budget one that
Mhm.
some people are like, that's it. That's
Yeah.
Hellboy. No, that was garbage.
Mm.
That was like Blair Witch, with
Mm.
the guy in the red suit. It was
Yeah.
no thank you.
Not so much.
No bueno.
No
We're gonna
bueno.
end it on a low note, Joe.
Sorry. Avengers Endgame.
Hey. Yeah, I
Superman.
think that's basically the end of our agenda or outline. Any other thoughts that anybody wants to share other than congratulations to us for 4 freaking years of podcasting and 400 episodes?
I don't know who the hell we're gonna interview going forward.
Yeah, we're running out of people. Just kidding.
I just want to, we say it all the time, but thank you to everyone
Yes.
who downloads us and watches us and shares our posts. Tony Rawls does a great job. Danny Fingeroff shares our posts. A lot of people supporting us, and we couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you guys all so much for being part of this. And Sean McMillan, our graphics guy, Sean, we can't forget him.
Yeah.
He puts eyes on our stuff with his wonderful artwork. A lot of great folks who have been behind all this, and we can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. I will also throw an extra shout out to Sam Fonseca for giving us our new theme music, which again, like Sean does every week, just knocked it out of the park. So we do appreciate everybody who is supporting the show and listening and viewing and all that great stuff. And at long last, finally, we are putting that Patreon together. So I hope to give you some good words and to point you in that direction within the next couple of weeks. We want our super fans to be able to get some things like advanced scheduling of shows, because we usually don't do it more than a week out. Things like
Tasteful nudes.
upcoming interviews, things like tasteful nudes.
Tasteful nudes. No face, no case, guys. Come on.
Super
No.
tasteful nudes.
Yeah.
They're like artistic.
It's artistic, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Really
A lot of
Kinda like
pastels.
Yeah.
Titanic version
smoke.
in the
Right.
steamy
Nothing
car,
gratuitous.
Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio kind
All
of
that, because
yeah,
that's
Kate
what sells.
Winslet things.
Boudoir photography, they might even call it.
Yes,
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
Yeah. Macaroni art.
Yeah.
We might have that for our patrons.
I'm working on a few necklaces.
And most serious of all, uncut early interviews,
That's
which we
actually
can
the
put up
only
there.
serious part of it.
As long as they don't, spoil anything that they're working on that they can't say, or, curse the day they ever came on Dollar Bin Bandits, things like that will
No.
obviously cut out. But
We're gonna have an all religion, all politics podcast as well.
Yeah.
that's true.
Fun one.
Yeah.
Called Jesus Christ, Where Art Thou? That's on our new net. No, sorry.
We've had a lot of demand for controversy.
Yeah.
And,
yeah,
we just want to deliver,
Yeah.
we want, bring all kinds of eyes to our podcast.
We want to take sides. That's where we're going with the Dollar
Yeah,
Bin
we don't want to be too woke, just
Yeah.
a little woke, like one eye open woke,
It's fun isolating people.
Yep.
Yes. We want to make sure that people, that want to come here for comics are completely turned off and ostracized from
Yep.
They call us God.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Mhm.
All right, sarcasm, guys. Thank you all out there for listening, for viewing, for say it with me, rating,
Reviewing and subscribing
to the Dollar
Booyah.
Bin Bandits. We love bringing this show to you, and we have plenty more episodes on the way. So that'll do it for this live episode, and hopefully here's to 400 more.
Booyah.
Congrats, boys.